Hello, everybody. Greetings, good evening. Peace and power and elevation be to all you beautiful people out here. This your girl Tiffany coming through here live in effect. Live in effect. What's up, brother Vinyasa? It's been a while since I last saw you. I hope everything's going well on your end. All right, so on this lovely evening of Tuesday, November the 9th of 2021, I will be getting on to the subject dealing with Black history as usual. And so tonight's subject is going to be dealing with James E. Shepherd. James E. Shepherd was an American pharmacist, and not only he was a pharmacist, but also he was a founder of North Carolina Central University. So he was a founder of North Carolina Central University, which is located in Durham, North Carolina. All right. And he founded it in 1910. So by him founding the school, he believed that education was very valuable. He believed that African Americans should be able to have a place where they can go and get a better higher learning. And they can be able to learn and be able to acquire the knowledge. So on this evening, I want to look into his biography. And I want to also show you guys the website where you guys can look it up for yourself. All right. So I have so far 3 sources. And the first source I'm going to go to is everybody's favorite, which is the Wikipedia Wiki 1. Now, as you can see right here, the picture is Mr. James E. Shepherd. That's a picture of him. Let me blow him up. All right, that's Mr. Shepherd. And he was born on November the 3rd, 1875, and he passed away on October the 6th, 1947. He was an American pharmacist, a civil servant, an educator, the founder of what became the North Carolina Central University in Durham, North Carolina. He first established it as a private school for religious training in 1910, but adapted it as a school for teachers. He had a network of private supporters, including northern white philanthropists such as Olivia Shelcombe Sage of New York. He was the school's first president and remained its leader for nearly 40 years. By 1923, he secured state funding for it as a normal school to continue the training for Black teachers. After programs and classes were added to create 4-year curriculum in 1925, it was renamed North Carolina College for Negroes, becoming the first liberal art college in the nation for Black students to be state funded. All right. So down here where it says his personal life and family. He was born in Raleigh, North Carolina, the son of Revis Augustus and Harriet Whitted Shepherd. He received undergraduate and professional training at Shaw University, which is a HBCU also, graduating in 1894. The following year, he married Annie Day Robinson. They had 3 daughters, Marjorie A. Shepherd of Durham and Annie Day Shepherd Smith of New Bern, North Carolina, and Marion Smith had 2 daughters, Annie Day Smith Donaldson and Cara Marie Smith Green. Both daughters had children, and Green has grandchildren. All right. So here's the career. Shepherd settled in the Haiti District, becoming one of the founders of development. He worked as a pharmacist in the community and later as a civil servant and religious educator. He became president of the school he founded, one originally intended to train clergy. So let's look at Haiti District, or Haiti, well, it's pronounced as Haiti. All right, so Haiti District is the historic African American community that is part of the city of Durham, North Carolina. It was founded as an independent Black community shortly after the American Civil War on the southern edge of Durham by freemen coming to work in tobacco warehouses and related jobs in the city. By the early decades of the 20th century, African Americans owned and operated more than 200 businesses, which were located along Fayetteville, Pettigrew, and Pine Streets, the boundaries of Haiti. So it gets its name from the country Haiti. And it goes on to say the neighborhood continued to develop during the late 19th and 20th century through years of racial segregation imposed by white Democrats in the state legislature following the Reconstruction era in the South, with Black-owned businesses and services, a library, a hotel, a theater, a hospital. The community became self-sufficient. It declined in the late 20th century due to suburbanization, which drew some residents to newer housing outside the area. In 1958, urban renewal and freeway project took down houses and businesses in 200 acres of the community and split it with a freeway. St. Joseph African Methodist Episcopal Church is listed on the National Register of Historic Places. Its congregation was founded in 1868. The church has been used since 1975 as a community and cultural center. Haiti's residents have included African Americans who achieved national reputation for their successes. All right. So going down, it says James E. Shepherd was one of the founding fathers of Haiti, along with Aaron McDuffie Moore, John Merrick, and Charles Clinton Spaulding. Shepherd, Moore, and Merrick founded the North Carolina Mutual Life Insurance Company, which became the largest and richest African-American company in the United States at the time. It had a land development company as a subsidiary, which helped build much of Haiti. Prosperous African-American funeral home owner J.C. Scarborough and his wife Daisy built the Scarborough House at 1406 Fayetteville Street. All right, so as we can see here, Mr. Shepherd has contributed a lot to Durham, North Carolina, not only just founding the college, but he also founded a district, a neighborhood called Haiti. So he played his part into that. And as you can see, the reason why it was named Haiti, because during the 1880s, the neighborhood increased in population, mostly Black-run businesses was established. Haiti District, named after Haiti, the first independent Black republic in the Western Hemisphere, eventually included a variety of businesses, schools, a library, a theater, a hotel, the Lincoln Hospital, and other services, making it quite self-sufficient. So because of the inspiration of the country Haiti, that's why they decided to name this area Haiti. Okay. All right, so let me go back and let me finish where I left off. So North Carolina Central University. Shepherd founded the private National Religious Training School of Chautauqua in Haiti District in 1910. Originally, this institution was conceived as a center for religious training. Later, he renamed it National Training School. It was supported by philanthropy of Shepherd's numerous Black and white friends in both the North and the South. These included Olivia Shoscombe Shage of New York. The school provided professional development for Black teachers of the Jim Crow era. Education was considered a high calling in the Black community. In the drive for everyone to become literate, teachers from the school taught in rural Durham County. Shepherd faced great difficulties in securing sufficient funding to keep the school the private school operating. He dealt with some of the issues of the Jim Crow era in his own way. At Christmas, white Durham merchants would bring selection of products to Shepherd's office so that he could avoid the possibility of dealing with rudeness downtown. He continued to lobby the North Carolina General Assembly for support of the North Carolina College for Negroes. When going to the legislators, Shepherd traveled by car in order to avoid the train, which had segregated seating according to the Jim Crow rules. When the North Carolina legislature approved state funding in 1923, the institution name was changed to Durham State Normal School. In 1925, the program was suspended to a 4-year curriculum, and the institution became North Carolina College for Negroes, the first state-supported liberal arts college for Black people in North Carolina and in the United States. Its first 4-year college class graduated in 1929. In 1947, the name became North Carolina College at Durham, and the 1969 General Assembly established the institution as one of the state's regional universities. The name was changed to North Carolina Central University since 1972. NCCU has been a constituent institution of the University of North Carolina. So there's the legacy and honor. He has a middle school that's named after him in Durham, and he was recognized as the main honoree by the Quincentennial Honors Commission at the Durham 150 closing ceremony in Durham, North Carolina on November the 2nd of 2019. The posthumous recognition was bestowed upon 29 individuals whose dedication, accomplishment, and passion have helped shape Durham in important ways. And as you can see, you can find the reference at the bottom of the page. You can also look into the further reading right here at the external links. So also I want to show the website. So right here, this is North Carolina Central University website. And as you can see, that's a picture of Dr. James E. Shepherd again. All right. So here's the picture. All right, so it says the enrollment, the graduation rate, 5-year graduation rate, 2014, 47.7%. Freshman to sophomore retention rate, 78% in 2019. U.S. News and World Report list of best HBCUs 2021, 11th at the rank. Okay. So the website is nccu.edu. nccu.edu. That's the website. All right. So also I have another information I want to read on that was not in Wikipedia. So this info comes from NorthCarolinapedia.org. Okay. Now, going down here, it says that often compared to Booker T. Washington, Shepherd rejected both confrontation and legislation to better race relations. He favored conciliation at the conference table and argued that we cannot legislate hate out of the world or love into it. Shepherd's approach won praise from the General Assembly in 1948. This native-born North Carolina labored with wisdom and foresight for the lasting betterment of his race and his state, not through agitation or ill-conceived demands, but through the advocacy of a practical, well-considered, and constant program of racial progress. More radical Blacks, however, found Shepherd's approach disgusting unclintomanism. That's an interesting word. Never heard of it. One northern black critic charged that he speaks not for the new Negro, but for his little band of bandana wearers and them alone. Oh. Shepard articulated his views on racial affairs in a series of statewide radio broadcasts in the 1930s and 1940s, and in speeches and writings for a national audience in which he supported and defended the progress of North Carolina. So basically, just to sum it up, James E. Shepard, like Booker T. Washington, they both believe in doing for self. They both believe in doing for self and doing for the community. But Booker T. Washington was considered to be very radical about things. He was just very radical. Whereas in this guy's case, Dr. Shepard wasn't as radical, but he was more so conservative about it, but he was straightforward. He didn't bring about a lot of agitation or a lot of issues or any chaos, but he wanted to be more civil about it. He wanted to be more straightforward about the issue and let people know that this is where we stand. Blacks need to do for self. We need to focus on the problems in our community. We need to come band together and work together. All right. But let's continue on. It says, a Republican in national politics. Hold on. So he was a Republican. A Republican in national politics, Shepard supported Democrats locally. He effectively presented his college case before the state legislature. One political commentator declared in 1948, he was regarded by many legislators the best politician ever to come before them. He probably got a larger percentage of his requests than anybody did, and he generally aimed high. In 1945, the High Point Enterprise called him one of the state's 10 more valuable citizens. Shepard was a member of the Baptist Church, a Grand Master of the Prince Hall Free and Accepted Masons of North Carolina, a grand patron of the Eastern Star, and a Secretary of Finances for the Knight of Pythis. He was president of the North Carolina Colored Teachers Association, the International Sunday School Convention, and the State Industrial Association of North Carolina, a trustee of Lincoln Hospital and Oxford Colored Orphanage, a director of Mechanics and Farmers Bank, and a member of the North Carolina Agricultural Society. Shepard received honorary degrees from Muskingum College in 1912, Selma University in 1913, Howard University in 1925, and Shaw University in 1945. He was the only Black speaker at the World Sunday School Convention held in Rome in 1910. So not only that, he was a pharmacist, he was an educator, but he was also a Mason. He was a part of the Prince Hall Masonry, as we can see here, the Eastern Star, and the Knights of Pythagoras. And also, he was on the trustee boards. And he also served as the president at the Colored Teacher Association. So he won many belts. And he did multiple things. So his resume was a large one. He had a long resume that went beyond teaching, went beyond pharmacy, doing actual community work. But we feed into the notion that our people didn't do shit. And that just goes to show the level of ignorance that people don't know what they're talking about. They don't know what they're talking about. They don't have any form of knowledge. They're not really well studied. Because if they were, there wouldn't be any type of commentary. They will be amazed at what they know. But this is what happened when you feed off of things that's unproductive, ignorant, and just flat out ludicrous. And you miss the most important information, the most important pieces. But anyways, I just want to end this video tonight. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, share the channel, like the channel. And then the next time I get on here, I will present more information. So each week, I either do topics on Black history, science, social science, or current events, etc. Yeah, so that's just my outline and the list of things that I like to talk about. All right. And from time to time, I also have guests come on here, and we have conversation pertaining on good subjects. But anyways, I have nothing else. I hope y'all have a good one. And until next time, this your girl Tiffany, and I'm logging off. With that being said, peace and power elevation be to all of you. And I will connect with y'all later. All right.